Mic check, mic check. What's going on? Welcome back to another Hip Hop Snapshot. I'm your host, Ross Martinez, and today, episode 4 in our 5-ep arc of the architects of sound, the producers behind the microphone. We touched on the East, went out West, went down to the dirty South, and today, let's talk about a region that rarely asks for the attention, and instead poured everything into perfecting the craft itself. The Midwest isn't about flash, it's about soul, about feeling. From Detroit basements to Chicago rooftops, from Cincinnati corners to Minneapolis circles, this region brought sound that stuck to you. It was soulful, intentional, reflective, like winter wind and rust belt grit. It cut deep, but it made you stronger. So without further ado, let's spotlight the producers that made the Midwest the mid-best. You know what time it is. Grab that milk crate, take a seat. It's time to talk hip-hop history. We have to begin in Detroit with one of my top 3 greatest producers of all time, J. Dilla. If rhythm had a conscience, it sounded like a Dilla track. His drums didn't knock, they nudged you. And he wasn't just a beat maker. He was a mood sculptor. Every chop, every loop was a love letter to vinyl and emotion. Some people he worked with, Slum Village, Common, his Project Donuts, masterpiece. He didn't just change music, he humanized it and the technology. We'll talk about Dilla on a different snapshot. He deserves his own snapshot. Next, we got to talk about the teacher himself out of Chicago, No ID. Some say Kanye West is the greatest to come out of Chicago, but he was the student. The teacher, the one who put Kanye on, No ID. Quiet in voice, loud in legacy. The godfather of Chicago hip-hop, and he taught us that soul could be very strategic when done right. He shaped Common's sound, he mentored Kanye, and he guided generations with an MPC and a mission. No headlines, just heavy influence and beautiful artmanship. Next, let's talk about the student himself, one of the most controversial figures in hip-hop, but arguably one of the greatest producers to ever bless the culture, Kanye West. Before the arenas, before the headlines, he was a kid stitching emotion into every sample. He didn't ask if vulnerability belonged in rap. He proved that it did. His beats gave us gospel, pain, joy, chaos, and often all in the same track. He made producers dream bigger. Kanye, for as controversial as he is a mastermind. We'll cover him in another snapshot. Next, let's go to Cincinnati, Ohio. High tech. Slick and thoughtful, High-Tech laid golden paths for lyrical thinkers. With Talib Kweli and Reflection Eternal, he didn't just make tracks, he made time capsules. His sound was calm, but carried conviction. Next, let's go to Detroit. Apollo Brown, cinematic, raw, soulful. Apollo paints scenes through sound, theater of the mind, if you would. Hard snares, mellow strings, and emotional grit. If Detroit had a sonic diary, he's been writing in it for over a decade. Next, let's go back to Chicago, the legendary Trackster. You know his work even if you don't know his name. He gave Chicago a signature speed and silky swing sound. From acts of Twister or Do or Die and early Midwest bounce, all of that is Trackster's fingerprints on the music and the culture. Those are just some names, some very legendary names in the Midwest, but some honorable mentions: Black Milk, a producer who raps, and a rapper who produces, all from Detroit. You got Young Chop, Drill's secret weapon, the architect behind Chief Keef's real breakout. And you have Laserbeak, the sound of solidarity out of Minneapolis. Then you have the Interns, dance floor burners with true Chicago seasoning. So with all that said, here's today's takeaway. The Midwest gave hip-hop texture. It taught the culture that beats could breathe and be soulful. That emotion could drive rhythm. The greatness could come from the grind, not just the spotlight. And in doing so, it gave us the kind of timeless music that still rings true to this day. The Midwest, or as we call it, the Midbest, has a lot of rich history in hip hop history. Eventually, we'll do solo eps on all these producers. But until then, you know what I like to tell you? Dig in some crates, get your knowledge up, build your musical library. And when you out there creating, stay inspired. And above everything, if each of these episodes could teach you one thing, you don't need permission. You just need some attitude, some creativity, and a lot of conviction. And above everything, remember to always be, you guessed it, hip hop. I'm your host, Ross. I'm out. Peace.